The angels, they cannot change their will. And even though the jinn can change their will, they don't have those attributes that Allah Almighty has put into Adam and Eve. And we are their descendants. So it's not the same reality. Allah Almighty, through our waking moments, has allowed us to contemplate something other than what we see, and that's why we have death, people dying. We have traumas and difficulties because it is boggling to the mind. Anytime that there is something happening in our lives, there is no logic to it, then it is saying to us that there is something more than this. That part of us that's called the heart is not from this place. It is from a heavenly place. And in that heart, there is a window that connects us to divine presence. And the only time that we usually are able to reach that is when we're sleeping and our physical senses have shut down and we see ourselves in divine presence doing all kinds of things, flying or seeing prophets or seeing saints or maybe seeing our grandparents or seeing someone that has passed over to the other side. Because there is a clear vision. In the spiritual, the vision is clear. And that's why when our senses fall short when we leave, there is no imagination, and there are no desires for this world. There's only the clarity of a clear vision, and that's why we beg Allah Almighty to come back. We say, oh Allah, I see clearly now my reality. Why? Through your mercy, you brought me into life in dunya. And you provided for me. And you warned me. And you loved me. And I rejected you. Now I see clearly. Please forgive me, oh Allah, and send me back. Allah says no, because if we send you back, you would do the same thing. You would fall asleep once again. So when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came and Allah says, I'm complete the religion on you, the Prophet, peace be upon him, taught the people how to remember their Lord so that in their waking state, they could be in contact with divine presence in their waking state. So they could see the unseen while they were in the scene. So they could feel the unseen while they were still in the scene. That they didn't have to leave this life and all their senses fall short and shut down and be in the next life and have the clarity and beg to come back and can't come back. So Allah Almighty sends His servants. His servants, they just don't have the power of speech that reaches us. Their hearts are connected to divine presence that gives us a boost to our hearts. And for a glimpse, connect us to divine presence as a mercy and a warning. And guidance for us who are using their wisdom, who are using their intellect correctly. Their intellect being used to remember Allah Almighty. That's where the power doesn't come from our food. The power doesn't come from lifting weights. The power comes from remembering Allah Almighty, because the strongest, most powerful part of ourselves is that part we don't even see. We neglect it. And that's why Allah sends Ramadan, alhamdulillah. A couple of weeks we're going to be fasting during Ramadan. Allah Almighty wants to shut down our senses for 30 days, 29 to 30 days. He wants to lock up Adam and Eve, and also the enemy of humanity, the descendants of Adam and Eve, to give us a chance to regain our honor, to recapture our status of purpose, to remember our purpose. We're not here to go work some 9 to 5 or to be just somebody's father or their mother or their brother and sister, their cousin or their neighbor. We are here for our Lord only. These other things are what Allah sends to give some comfort to us. But they're not the end all be all. We cannot worship them. We cannot get so attached to them that we forget our Lord. And that's why Allah takes it from us. Allah takes it from us. We attach to the wrong things. We love for the sake of Allah Almighty, not for the sake of our ego. We live for our Lord. We die for our Lord. That's why we're here. And we all have to take that personally. Do you think it is the person who stands before us who is the most important person? We're all important. Allah withholds all of us responsible for ourselves. Yes, we can listen to anyone and gain wisdom and apply it in our lives. But if we're not going through the inner recesses of our heart and connecting to divine presence, our time here is being wasted. The material things that we have put so much pleasure and so much time in is nothing. People that we know, rich and famous people, are dying every day. If you look in their caskets, they're not taking anything away with them. Everything that they have put all their time in and all their efforts in are still here once they're under the ground. So our purpose is not to show here and to show out here in front of people. Our purpose here is to show up and show out for our Lord. Because we have a legacy to continue. Yes, scholarship is important. That is a great thing. But never could you gain what Allah Almighty wants to give us except through your heart. And that heart has to be open. It has to be clean. We cannot continue to take on the same attributes of Shaitan. He was rebellious before Allah. He was rebellious in divine presence. He tricked our grandparents, and from them came this murder, this killing, fornication, stealing, lying, cheating, envy, anger, depression, hatred. We have taken on those attributes. Those are not our attributes. And we can't shake them. And when we keep those attributes, you know, we wake up hurting. We wake up mental anguish, physical anguish, spiritual anguish. We think in terms of poverty. We think in terms of lack. We think in terms of uncertainty. How are we going to attract someone if someone is just like that? They don't like each other. That's what the society now have taken on, the attributes of Shaitan. They don't even like each other. It's difficult to get 5 people to move in the same direction at the same time. Now you have an army, all the world have armies, and you have to pay them. No one paid the Sahabas. May Allah be pleased with them. No one paid the Moors. No one paid the Ottomans. Their payment was with their Lord. They didn't have to be begged to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth. Their sustenance was with their Lord. We're begging, oh, you got to pay me before I do anything. We've lost our mind. We'll be the same ones in the grave begging Allah to come back after we see our reality. We'll be the same ones. This now is our time. If you can pinch yourself and feel it, you are here, you're present now. You're not under the grave. This is not a dream. This is the real deal. You are here, you are present, you're in the front of your Lord. What are we going to do now?